Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
You are from Fatehabad, Haryana.
Yes, sir.
You did your BA Honours in Economics
Yes, sir.
in 2019.
Yes, sir.
All right. Your subject also is Economics.
Yes, sir.
See what is happening now, that Sri Lankan economy has collapsed.
Yes, sir.
Pakistan economy also is about to collapse. Nepal is also on the brink.
Yes, sir.
But India is going strong. Why? What are the fundamentals that is holding up Indian economy, whereas all our neighboring countries, their economy collapsed?
Sir, definitely, sir. India's fundamentals are quite strong right now. In comparison to our neighboring countries, I think we have invested in our human resource as well as in our industries, in our agriculture. As we are seeing in Sri Lanka, the major reason behind the crisis has been less resilient agriculture sector, and that has affected their export earnings as well as remittances, etc. So in that aspect, India is having a resilient agriculture sector. Secondly, sir, I think India's population, since COVID pandemic, we are seeing that we are doing a lot of supply side reforms, and which are not being seen are in our neighboring countries. So that is improving our position in the short run. Uh, Also, sir, the market fundamentals are quite strong in with respect to India because of political certainty and stability in India in comparison to, for example, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. So investors are having more confidence in India with respect to its neighboring countries. So investment flows are quite high in India. That is also pushing our short-term position quite strong. Yes, sir.
It seems some faulty policies also led to the Sri Lankan crisis.
Sorry, sir, I could not.
Some faulty policies.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The
Over dependence on a particular country.
yes,
or
sir.
Organic farming,
Yes, sir.
which affected the
Yes, sir.
exports. And of course, pandemic contributed to
Yes, sir.
loss in tourism and etc. Okay. How is your relationship with China
Sir, currently
currently?
yes. So currently we are not in a good situation with China with respect to our border tensions are concerned. We are seeing the diversification of our trade to other countries from China because we are realizing that China is not a partner on which we can trust for long run. So we are diversifying our supply chains from China. Sir, other things, sir, I can think of since Ukraine-Russia crisis has happened, and that has led to integration, alignment of Russia with China, and that is also affecting our relations with China in terms of.
Positively or negatively?
Sir, it is affecting, I think, negatively because Russia used to be a partner which came in between and as a balancing force in India and China relationship. Now we can see a long-term trend where Russia may align more towards China, and that may affect our security implications at the border level. So uh, we need to work strategically in our security aspects and diversify our defense relationships with Western countries such as USA and UK and Indo-Pacific area also, sir.
I'm sorry,
Yes, sir.
is that the reason we are advocating about Russia in sitting in the USA? Our external minister has said many things in favoring the human rights and all that.
Yes, sir.
Is that the reason? Is that the balance we are making? Do you think so?
Sir, I think every nation has its own opinion when it comes to human rights. And
No. we're talking
Okay, sir.
what you said about Russia and China's togetherness.
Yes, sir.
No,
Are we afraid of that?
Let me elaborate.
Yes, sir.
What
Thank
you
you.
are saying is exactly what the Deputy NSA of America said.
Okay, sir.
That if there is a border clash or some problem with China,
Yes, sir.
Russia will not side with it. Russia will side with China.
Yes, sir.
That is what he said. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
when he visited. But how come that we are soft pedaling with Russia then and annoying America?
Sir, I think.
We have abstained in all the resolutions, including the human rights,
Yes, sir.
which is least expected.
Yes, sir.
We are criticizing the human rights violation, but in your resolutions we abstain,
Yes, sir.
and that has annoyed Russia as well as America.
Sir.
So what are we gaining?
Sir, I think our stand in UNSC resolutions have been based upon our defense relationship with Russia, and because we import around 2/3 of our military appliances from Russia, and in short term we cannot diversify that to other countries. So in that aspect, we have to look forward towards our defense and security implications and have a balanced opinion in this issue. So secondly, since Russia being a major factor in our long-term energy security in terms of crude oil supply, we can take benefit from it if we maintain good relationship with Russia vis-a-vis.
What is the percentage of oil that we take from Russia?
Sir, it is quite negligible right now. But in the near term, sir, we can, since our national economy is being hurt a lot by the rise in crude oil prices, so that is impacting our own industry's competitiveness. So if we can diversify some of our supply from Russia, then we can be able to control our domestic inflation.
We can criticize that.
Sir, no, I would not say.
Okay. As an economist,
Yes, sir.
suppose you are in a position to advise Sri Lankan government to
Okay,
come
sir.
out of this economic mess.
Yes, sir.
What will you advise them? 1, 2, 3.
Sir, my first advice would be to, first of all, look forward to diversify its external debt because, sir, it
China
can.
has defaulted on 51 billion.
Yes, sir. Sir, multilateral institutions should have a responsibility, like IMF. They should bail out some of their commitments because Sri Lanka is in a dire need of such debt resolution and restructuring. Secondly, sir, it can look forward to reliable partners except China. Like we are also offering an additional $2 billion grant if Sri Lanka wants to have it. So like these partners, they can diversify their debt structure. So secondly, I would say they have to do domestic reforms in terms of pulling back subsidies that they are giving, and the freebie economies in Sri Lanka is basically doing. So the third would be to focus on the agriculture and in the short term because that is impacting the citizens badly. So they can allow the import of chemical fertilizers and look for other suppliers and through barter trade rather than through currency. For example, India can help, or Southeast Asian economies can help. So in that way, in short term, they can diversify their agriculture also, so that the domestic inflation could be controlled. Sir, the fourth aspect, sir, I think they have to make the political certainty, because right now there is quite a political mess that is going on in the economy. So investors are not confident on the Sri Lankan economy, and that is also impacting their investments and outflows. So there should be political certainty, and that will help them in helping into this solving this crisis.
Your service priority for IPS is number 5.
Yes, sir.
Generally, I have seen candidates from Haryana, they even give IPS as number 1
Yes, sir.
above IAS. How come? You have some disability or something? Color blindness or something?
No, sir.
Or is some other reason?
Sir, I think given my background in economics, and my educational skills, sir, I think I can contribute much larger in the services like Indian Administrative Services and IFS, or in a revenue services. So, sir, I think it's basically due to this reason that I have put IPS.
And why so low preference for Agni?
Sir, basically, sir, the same reason, because I thought it will be like I would not be able to contribute much through my skills and my interests. So that's why, sir.
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 Now, Keshavji,
Yes, sir.
when you you come from Fatehabad,
Yes, sir.
there is one particular village in Fatehabad whose name has recently been proposed to be changed.
Okay, sir.
Which is that?
Sir, I am not sure about the village name, sir.
It is called Ganda.
Okay, sir.
It is a village called Ganda in Fatehabad.
Sir, I am not aware, sir, about it.
You have said that your mother is a housewife.
Yes, sir. So she is a homemaker. Yes, sir.
But, in this income certificate,
Yeah, I also wanted to.
Yes, sir.
she is the main
Sir,
source
she.
of income.
Yes, sir.
Family.
So she is doing some edutech. She's doing teaching on one edutech platform. So it is kind of freelancing work that she's doing in her free time. So majorly, sir, she's also doing her household responsibilities as well as this thing, sir.
But your father, who has much less income,
Yes, sir.
has own
Yes, sir.
business, why can't you have shown your mother as freelance?
Okay, sir.
Instead of just saying housewife.
Uh,
At least reconcile
yes, sir.
this with that.
yes, sir. So I forgot to mention this, sir.
10,000 annually, nine.
Sir, actually, the thing was due to COVID pandemic, sir. The year was basically very difficult for us. We had to close our shop, and
The shop.
yes, sir. So that's why we.
Okay. Now you have said that you like to teach elementary economics.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what exactly can you tell us?
Sir, elementary economics is basically the economics that people.
Teaching elementary economics to whom?
Sir, the school students, sir. Sir, the two school students, 11th and 12th standard students, in my locality as well as on online. So yes, sir.
How many students you teach?
Sir, around 9 to 10 students are there. So I teach them on weekends only. Yes, sir.
Do you monitor their performance?
Yes, sir. Sir, I think the motivation for teaching basically came from my own experience when I was in the school. So I was not getting proper career guidance at that time. So I really wanted it at that time. So this time, because some of my friends and my brother's friends, they came to me and they told me that they are not getting economics. What should we do after taking economics? So that started with like just conversation, and then we turned to full teaching and platform. And sir, they are doing good now, because earlier they were not having a good perception about economics, and they now are willing to take it as a career option in the future.
How do you assess your performance in this job? Do you have any parameters to assess?
Yes, sir.
Any procedure for assessment of your own performance?
So
As
with
a part-time teacher.
Okay, sir.
economics to 12.
Sir, I think the parameters are basically, the first is simplicity, I would say. Simplicity, sir. Because teaching, I thought it to be quite simple job, but it is not that simple. We have to make the things very simple. It looks to someone who's being taught.
Sorry, I'm asking about evaluating your performance.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sorry.
How do you evaluate that you are making some contribution
Okay,
to
sir.
the performance of those students? How do you evaluate yourself?
Sir, the first is the kind of satisfaction,
First
sir.
thing is, do you evaluate yourself, or you just go on delivering and you are happy?
Sir, the basic evaluation that I think is based on my communication skills, sir, because Earlier, I was having a fear of public speaking, and now I am improving upon it, sir, through teaching. So, sir, I think I am getting advantage of it.
Anyway, you have not understood the question. Anyway,
Sorry, sir.
now, if you are trying to make things simple,
Yes, sir.
then please tell us in very simple terms, what is NFT? Non-fungible tokens.
Yes, sir. Sir, I've heard about this term. Sir, non.
Okay. Cryptocurrency.
Yes, sir. Sir, the cryptocurrency is a digital asset. Comes into the category of digital asset. That is basically.
Is it fungible or non-fungible?
Sir, I don't know, sir. Sir, I think it is. Sorry, sir. I'm not a way to comment on this.
So, okay.
Okay, sir.
Continue with cryptocurrency.
Yes, sir. Sir, the cryptocurrency is in the class of digital assets, which is basically to transact from one country to another or from one person to another person without involving the formal financial system. Sir, it is gaining prominence because of its simplicity and decentralization. That is a major characteristic of it.
Security?
Yes, sir. Security wise, sir, it is also very protected.
How is it secure?
Sir, because any transaction which is happening, it is creating a footprint of transaction is being footprint is there at the lower level, and that can be traced by everyone.
What is that technology?
Sir, it is blockchain technology that is being used.
What is Government of India's policy regarding cryptocurrency?
Sir, the recent budget, sir, basically government introduced 30% of tax on crypto assets transactions on the capital gains and 10% TDS in order to regulate these transactions. Sir, currently we are not having any proper legislative framework to regulate cryptocurrencies, but the ideology of RBI is quite negative with respect to cryptocurrency. The RBI doesn't
I
know.
would put a provoking question.
Okay, sir.
It is like taxing the thieves.
Okay, sir.
That okay, you go on making money, but give us some tax. Would you agree?
Sir, as an economist, I would definitely agree, because the kind of growth we are seeing in cryptocurrencies, that we are having opportunity to make some revenue from that front, and that can be utilized in our social expenditures. So, I think it is more of a step towards regulation, because first of all, we have to see how it is being taken by the market, and accordingly we can formulate a law to regulate these.
Why has Infosys withdrawn its business from Russia?
From? Sorry, sir.
Russia.
Russia.
Infosys has
Yes, sir.
decided to close its business. In
Okay,
Russia.
sir.
Why?
Uh,
Have you heard of this?
no, sir, I have not heard about this, sir.
Forget it.
Yes, sir.
You have mentioned about Vimarsh.
Yes, sir.
What is Vimarsh and what is your role?
Sir, it is an annual fest which is being organized by the Department of Economics in Punjab University. Sir, it basically means to have a conversation with the people, and in that fest, I was a part of organizing committee in cultural events. Sir, that was my role basically.
So, what is the cultural events? What did you
Yes,
do?
sir. Sir, it was literary events were there, sir. Dancing, folk dance. We were basically inviting the students from the colleges in Chandigarh, and they were given chances to perform in university campus. So I was coordinating to the college
On
university
behalf of
on behalf of economics department, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
What, in your opinion, is the effect of e-commerce, particularly after the growth of e-commerce on traditional market?
On, sir.
Traditional market.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, from my personal experience, because we are also, my father was also employed in, like he was self-employed in footwear business in retail segment. So I have seen for the past 2 years that due to e-commerce boom, there has been a decrease in our sales. There has been decrease in our regular customers. So that market is being taken by the e-commerce, and people are also very willing to transact online, and because they are getting variety of products, because market is becoming very competitive through e-commerce. Sir, there are earlier there were flash sales and all those segments which used to hurt the market a lot, and recently the government has also made a regulation about how they can go for flash sales. E-commerce rules were also in place. So in a way, sir, that has regulated the e-commerce malpractices and anti-competitive practices that were happening a time ago.
Now the traditional shopkeepers or retailers, they are also coming on.
Yes, sir. They are also transitioning to the e-commerce platforms, and that is also empowering many businesses, especially the women who are handling businesses in smaller villages also. So e-commerce basically is allowing them to not have much stock available at their home. They can basically take stock from other dealers and transact online, and that is why their inventory cost and cost of capitalization is lowering. Yes, sir.
And how is the concept of cloud kitchens catching up?
Sorry, sir.
Have you heard cloud kitchens?
Crowd kitchens.
Cloud kitchens.
Cloud kitchens.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. Which year Amartya Sen was awarded Nobel Prize in economics?
Sir, I am not exactly aware about the year, sir, but he was awarded in the field of developmental economics, and his contribution in development as freedoms and in the area of poverty reduction.
Welfare economics.
Yes, sir, welfare economics.
And can you tell what are the constraints in switching over from conventional farming to organic farming? Because organic products are getting very popular now.
Yes, sir. What are the constraints, sir, in transitioning to organic farming? Sir, first of all, sir, the yield is quite low because many studies have concluded that in short term, organic farming is not benefiting our yield basically. So farmers are not getting benefit in terms of yield. Second thing, sir, the organic farming market is quite segregated in India basically because it is more concentrated in urban areas, and that too in the households which are having who are rich and having high income. So the issue is about the market, how they can market their products. The second is about the inputs which they are using, because they are quite familiar with the chemical fertilizers and all those things which are very easy to apply, and organic manures and all those things are quite costly also, sir. They are not familiar, farmers are not familiar, and there is a behavioral aspect to it. They would not want to transition to these organic farming because they know that yield will be lower and they would be hurt by the market. Yes, sir.
My last question.
Yes, sir.
Privacy is now being considered to be at danger because your personal data is on clouds or internet.
Yes, sir.
Even during COVID times, your health data is also on net, exposed to everybody. So, what do you think should be done to remedy it?
Sir, the government, sir, basically the data protection law, the personal data protection law is in consideration in our joint parliamentary committee. That is basically trying to regulate the right to privacy and how the rise of digital platforms and social media is impacting our right to privacy. Sir, I think the privacy should, the onus lies on the persons who are providing digital services. The platform should be such that they are sensitive to the people's privacy. Sir, secondly, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
How do you rate the popular social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook?
Yes, sir.
In terms of privacy protection, data protection?
Sir, there are a lot of lags and issues in privacy on these platforms. Sir, recently we have seen the Cambridge Analytica scandal on Facebook where the data of people, billions of people, were being misused. But the self-regulation aspect of these platforms.
Have you heard of Google's Sandbox project? Sandbox.
No, sir. But I understand the concept of sandbox, where the companies basically try on a pilot basis for some project in order to know the limitations.
They are trying to protect websites from preventing the website getting into a top ratings.
Okay, sir.
Something like that. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sir.
How town can be a model? You're living in a model town area.
Yes, sir.
What is so model about a model town?
Sir, I'm not living in a model town. Basically, sir, it's the post office address is
Is the
in.
model town?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is basically the town which was created by the Haryana government in every district, where residential facilities are quite good with respect to public parks and sanitation and all those things.
Why it is called model town?
So because it can be seen from it can be seen as a model which can be utilized by other districts and other areas of the district to learn from, and so that is my thinking, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.